Okay, so 24 hours later, we've made some more, gigantic improvements. I think I'm fine tuning the balance a little bit better as far as the mace strike goes and the radius on that. I made a couple of upgrades since yesterday. I got a new helmet. I corrupted it. It didn't get 2 sockets. If it got 2 sockets, I think I would have probably closer to like 9150 or maybe 9200. Like, no, I think it'd be probably about 9150. But as it is right now, we wound up with exactly 9,000. It's actually kind of weird, but I popped off my old helmet and popped on that one, and it was exactly 9,000. So that's kind of serendipitous right there. But also, just kind of weird. I found a straight, just flat upgrade to my hammer from, of all places, the expedition boss. I think his name is like Orloth or Olroth or something. He just dropped this. I mean, of course, it actually had 2 sockets already. I mean, I qualityed it and corrupted it for flat fire damage, but it dropped like this. I didn't put any exalted orbs or anything on it. It just dropped just like this. The old one is, and I'll show you the old one, which was, I mean, literally like, I've been trying to replace this for the longest time, and it's like a few divines to replace it. Like, the one I want to replace it with is like 5 divines or 10, between 5 and 10 divines, and I've just been hesitating to. And they don't add that much. So, the upgrade to this one, let's see, 392, hammer hit, and then 174k top end ignite per second. And then this one that dropped just like this from Orloth or Olroth is 439 hit, 440 hit, and 187 ignite. So, I mean, just a straight up upgrade that just dropped. So anyway, I just thought that was pretty funny. As far as the extra 1,000 life that we put together since yesterday's video, that comes down to 3 Grand Spectrum rubies. I had actually been running one of these for the longest time. I ran one of these when I was like, I can't even remember, probably like level 89 or 88, somewhere back then in that range. And I had scrapped it because I found the rare jewels with all the like max res and everything like that. So I had scrapped these, and I'll tell you why. Because I was just using one of these, and if you can see that if I take off, I'll take off all 3 of them, and we go down to 8156, and then I'll put on one of them, and you'll see that it goes up to 8250. That's like 95 life. It's absolutely nothing. But if you push through that and put on the second one, instead of 90 life, it now gives you like 200 life. And then you push through that and put on the third one, and it gives you like 470 life. So it's like the combination of all 3 is, there's some funny business going on there where it ends up giving me like 10.3% life, maximum life. So instead of the 6% that I thought it would. So that's actually pretty huge. Now there's a disclaimer there. When you put 3 of those on, you're going to lose, 3 jewels. So the 3 jewels I had in there were, pretty big damage. Empowered attacks deal 20% increased damage. There's 40% there from 2 of these. And then 16% damage with maces, so there's 32% increased damage right there, and 2% max fire res. And then the emerald, 2% max lightning res and ignite duration and attack damage. So, I calculated it out. When I take those off, the hammer hit goes down like 30k damage. So you do lose about 30k damage to get 900 life, 850 life. That would be up to you whether or not you have enough damage to make that work. Also, my max res, this is about, and these are high compared to a lot of people, but this is about as glass cannon as I prefer to get. I like these to be over 80, but I've been testing this, and I'm not I'm not exactly in the glass cannon frame of reference here. It's still very tanky. So I just want to show Let's see if we can put something together here. I'm just going to do a random, see if we can find a decent little breach to run real quick. Do a sand spit breach. Let's see if we can find a more juiced up breach. Where was I juicing these up at? Crypt. I think I might have run most of them here. Woodland. This one's pretty juiced. Rare monsters. Monster density. It's a woodland. Oh, here's a rust bowl. This one's pretty juiced up rust bowl. Let's run it. Quantity, rarity, burning ground, and feeble. So this is a good example, actually. And rare monsters have one additional modifier. The enfeeble is negative 15% damage, I think, so, or something along those lines. So this will just cement the fact that even without those jewels, our damage is still, you know, way overkill. Oh, and I also changed something else. So Creparian did a video on how armor is just really terrible, and it's even worse than he thought it was. And he did a video outlining why heat-proofing, since armor is bad, heat-proofing is bad. And he backed it up. I mean, the mathematics are there. So I unspec'd out of this. That is 4 points. And at level 95, 4 points is extremely valuable. So what I did was I came up here and I spec'd into area of effect, area damage, attack area damage, and attack area damage, stun buildup, which is also huge for the cultist grade hammer. And then on the actual map clearing weapon swap, I have more attack area damage and area of effect and area of effect. So, and we're always stunning enemies, so that's always in effect. And so that's 30% right there. This is just what this allowed me to do was I was running area of effect in this. I mean, it's somewhat noticeable in the top end breaches. You do want to be clearing to the very edges of, you know, the possible, you know, as big as possible. You want to be clearing. So, but you sacrifice attack speed and damage. So, what this allowed me to do was take this out of here and put back in my martial tempo and maintain a huge, I mean, this, you know, when you take out martial tempo, you go down 4,000 DPS. So, which is huge. Being able to maintain a high attack speed and maintain the area is just huge. And you're going to see, when we run into this breach, you're going to see that those 4 points that come out of heat proofing are like a huge, huge benefit at level 95 anyway. So you just, if you want to, you go back and watch yesterday's video and look at the radius on the mace strike, and you'll see that it's pretty noticeably going off the edges of, almost off the edges of the screen. So and just keep an eye on my life. You'll see my life go down and tick down for 1k, 2k occasionally with like the gnarliest of stuff that's hitting me. It'll go down 25% and then spring right back up, obviously, but that's what we're trying to test here, is the viability of actual having just a huge pool of life. I mean, and also the life on kill. 4% life on kill, as well as 50 flat life on kill from the mace. As far as the context of a breach or a ritual or any high density type of activity, it basically makes you unkillable. You're killing so many little monsters. Let's tank these. These, I don't know what they're called, volatile plants or something. They do absolutely nothing. They do like 100 damage each. Let's clear this out a little bit. Actually, we don't even really have to clear around it. Just obliterate everything. And hopefully we get some decent rares in here. The rares have one extra modifier, so they could actually kill me. You just actually never know how crazy they are. Sometimes you get like 3 or 4 humongous rares that are just like pelting you with everything. And if we have to, we'll drop the Hammer of the Gods and See if we can catch one of these rares slipping. But we're pushing the boundaries of you know, killing stuff at the very edges of the screen. So to do that with the 9k life and everything, all things considered here, and the tankiness, I mean, there is absolutely zero attention paid to avoiding anything in here or running away or whatever. It's actually I'm pursuing these rare monsters, walking up to them on purpose, and getting as close to them as I possibly can, and just face tanking them. That's the whole goal. So, you know, that's where the 9k life is coming in handy, is even face tanking the tankiest of rare monsters and just the craziest extra modifier rare monsters in the game. You just have the life pool to just not even worry about it. So I can't say during all of that I saw my life even go down. It might have, but this is what leads me to believe that the maximum resistances are, I mean, obviously what they are is good enough. So at least for the content, at least for that content, there's harder stuff, and there's swaps you can make, and you might go down to 8,500 life, but you'll have, you know, 83 max res across the board or something like that, and which is admittedly way powerful. I mean, every percentage of max res is crazy powerful. The math behind that is really crazy. It's like a huge percentage of damage up above and beyond the 75 max res. So, you know, that's just a little showcase of it. That was a pretty dense little breach with a lot of extra modifier rare mobs, and I have Enfeeble. So, you know, 15% less damage dealt, and we're just exploding everything. So, and maintaining the 9k life. So this is just a little update from yesterday. I do still need 2 sockets in here. This will be another 150 life, and another I need 2 sockets in the next helmet that I get. It probably won't have 207 life, so it'll probably an extra socket with the life adjusted will probably add 80 to 90 more life. So you can expect to see me with like 9200 or 9250 coming up. It's just a matter of saving up divines to corrupt the, you know, I'm buying boots for between 5 and 10 divines and corrupting them, and they're bricking. So at this point, you're basically flushing divines down the toilet just looking for 80 life. So if you're prepared to do stuff like that, this is where you end up being at the end of a league. So at the end of a league, you're going to be flushing divines down the toilet just for the last 1% of this, 5% of that, and just for your own personal, you know, gratification. There's no difference between 8,000 and 9,000 life. There's no difference between 450k hammer damage and 500k hammer damage. It's, you know, it's just it's min-maxing everything, and this is the end game. So it's our job to see what 10k life looks like, or what 1,000,000 hammer damage looks like. So we're just, you know, if we have to flush all our divines, divines hold no value to me other than doing this. So that's what I'm farming them for. That's what I'm going to blow them on. If I have to blow 20 divines on boots every day, that's fine. It's just a matter of farming them, so that's the tough part. I need my items to sell, and I need to have currency to test this stuff out. So you know, this whole thing is funny because I could put on the Mahuatl's shield and have like 12k life right now, but my block percentage chance would be like 55%. So I've calculated it out, and even then, to get 55%, I would have to take all kinds of block chance nodes, and everything would just go to shit. So, but that would be an easy fix. I mean, I don't think any Titan has had 12k life. So maybe they have. That would be a real glass cannon type deal. So even it kind of defeats the purpose of being a glass cannon with 12k life. It's like no amount of life will save you from having 55% chance to block in a breach like that. So I would have just gotten annihilated. So anyway, we have to maintain the block. We have to maintain our priorities along with the life. So, but this is 9k. That was a juiced up breach. A lot of modded up rare monsters. So anyway, that's a little update.